You think of the weirdest things at work? You really do. This morning, I was at work, even a little before work, I started thinking about college movies, right? Like movies that take place at college or have to do with college. You know what I mean? Most people will head towards a college comedy. There's horror movies with college. What I do this. I don't know. There's horror movies. There's dramas and stuff. And what qualifies as a college comedy or college film? What doesn't? That sort of thing. So I got to thinking, why not do a video talking about this? And this started from being a video to a whole damn project. Because this weekend, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a few college movies. Not all the ones that I am talking about in this video are going to be a part of it, but I'm going to go through some. I'm including a few I haven't done, some I have. For those I haven't done, they're going to be full reviews, but the rest of them will be little shorts, the 3-minute shorts, today, Junior, that I do every once in a while. You're going to get me for 3 minutes. Well, I talk about this throughout the weekend, but yeah. You know what? For this, we need a red soda cup. Yes. Yeah, this will be the cup I drink out of this weekend. It's college, so let's get started with the comedies first, okay? Okay? So when you think of college comedies, one of the first ones to pop up is Animal House. Of course, a classic. John Belushi, Tim Matheson. Fantastic cast. This is one of the first ones that pop up, and it is a classic. Another one that people would say, this is National Lampoons. So, connected to that is Van Wilder, which is one of my personal favorite college comedies. And I think more people should look at this as National Lampoons would go. It had 2 follow-ups, being Van Wilder, The Rise in Taj, the sequel spin-off, and then the prequel / spin-off, Van Wilder Freshman Year. I like all 3 of these pretty well. I'm a big fan of Animal House as well. That would be far from the only time that National Lampoons would delve into the college. They had 2 other movies, Dorm Days and Dorm Days 2. I haven't seen those yet, so I can't really comment on that, but I would like the first part of this is probably going to be all National Lampoon stuff, but it's I had it right. Another one that people are going to point out is Old School. While they're not college students, that has a lot to do with college, and I think this would qualify as a college comedy. You know what I mean? Then you have the Naked Pie universe, or the American Pie universe. Excuse me. While the second one deals with the characters after they've gone to college. College does not really play a big part of that movie. So the only 2 that really do are the 2 spin-offs, Naked Mile and Beta House. 2 of my personal favorites, I might add. But, yeah. Then you have the Road Trip series. I would argue that the first one counts. Road Trip and Road Trip Beer Pong would both count as college comedies. They start at college. There's a wraparound with someone telling a story at the college. College plays a big part. They go from one college to another, so those count. What doesn't count, though, is Euro Trip. Okay? I think they go to a college, but, college is not a big thing. It's more of what they're going to do after the summer vacation, so that doesn't really count. But, And then we have some other comedies like Accepted, which counts. It qualifies because they build their own college, is what it is. So it's not a real college, but college plays a part. Slackers, absolutely. It takes place at a college. So, yes. And then we have college. Speaks for itself, don't you think? Marlon Wayans was in 2 college films, The Sixth Man and Senseless. Both qualify as they both take place at college. You would argue this has more of the college stuff in it than this one, but they're both very important, I think. The Water Boy. Funny, I did Adam Sandler joke and I didn't realize it. College. He's in college. He's playing college foosball. I think it counts. And then you have 22 Jump Street. They go, undercover at a college. Then there's other comedies that I don't have on me. Dead Man on Campus. My friend Brandon has borrowed me his copy so I could take a look at it. But I don't own it right now. And there's movies like Sorority Boys, which I wish I could talk about because that's a funny-ass movie. It's probably not politically correct to now, but I always had fun with it. I can't find it streaming anywhere. There's Pitch Perfect, which I have been reassured is a college movie. I got my ticket for the long way around, but Real Genius, which I have talked about, and that is absolutely a college movie. That counts. With Honors, which is another one I want to check out. I believe Joe Pesci plays a homeless man in that. I'm assured it's a comedy, so that's on this list here. And Legally Blonde, which I saw many moons ago. And that has a sequel and a spin-off with the 2 twin girls from Zack and Cody. And then you have the dramas, which I have 3 here right now. Drumline, which is a college movie, and I often forget that, but it is a college movie. We had Good Will Hunting. I probably won't be taking much look at the dramas this weekend, but I'm saving this for next year. And The Great Debaters, based on a true story. Probably not for me. Probably not. But college. Where's the 124 minutes? That's over 2 hours. No. All right. Then you have your thrillers, horror movies, Skulls, which I also forgot was college movies. They're secret societies. All 3 of these would qualify, but I would only watch the first 2 because those are the first one's the best, and I have a soft spot for the second one. I like it just fine, But it would be a good double feature with Skulls 2 because Robin Dunn is in it. American Psycho 2, All American Girl. Not saying I would do that. I might actually do that this weekend, though. But yeah. The All American Girl thing is not even on the cover. That qualifies. It takes place at a college, as does Scream 2, but not Scream 6. You have a small part of the college, but the college plays no big part in the plot of that story, really. Here, it does. In Scream 2, it does. You have the house on Sorority Row, as well as its remake, Sorority Row. There's Sorority House Massacre, another sorority movie. To follow on from Dead Man on Campus, we have The Curb, which has the same plot, so I may do those back to back this weekend to kind of see which one, how that works. But both revolve around that Dead Man's Curve thing. We got Urban Legend and its first sequel, Urban Legend's Final Cut. Fuck me. That's not how it goes. Urban Legend's Final Cut. Both college-centric. I said that because it dropped one. Blumhouse enters the chat with Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. Both count, but I would go for this one more so over this one. I guess they both do count. They're both at the college, but I don't know. I feel like the first one captures the college life more. Maybe the second one does too. I don't know. An Insidious movie has to do with college. Insidious, The Last Key, which takes place at college. So, The Bye-Bye Man, which nobody thinks of when they think of a horror movie at college, but they are technically at college. I will count it. The Roommate. thriller. Yeah. It counts. They're at college. So, you know. Boogeyman 3. Again, it counts, though it's not one I would put in, but you know. And then you have all three Black Christmas movies. However, I feel like the original and the first remake don't really show you much of college other than their, you know, their sorority house or whatever it is. Ironically, this one shows you more of the college. Well, that makes it less of a Christmas movie. Now, some people will have questions of what qualifies as a college movie. Well, it has to take place in college. Some examples of this are what I showed you, but the question is would stealing Harvard count? Harvard's in the title, but no, because yes, Harvard's in the title, but it's not. It's about getting money so that a niece can go to college, so not really. What about Cry Wolf? Nah, that's not a college, it's a boarding school. Though Google somehow puts it on there, it also does that to the faculty, which makes no sense. That's high school. What about Butterfly Effect? Butterfly Effect could be in that category. Is it? He's at college. There's a good spread where he's in a sorority and fraternity type situation during one of his jumps. So I guess you could count it. We do more on the yes side than no. The Neighbors movies. Well, I don't know. I know that there's a sorority house and a fraternity house, frat house, but I don't necessarily know how much the college culture, other than drinking alcohol and drugs, are thrown into that. So I'm not exactly sure that we count. So I'll put that in the middle. Then you have Ghostbusters and its remake, which start at college, but in both cases they both get booted out. So I would not count that. Then there's Flatliners, which is another question because that's a med school, but is it also college? I would technically count both of those in a way. So, yeah. So that's the sort of what we're looking at. As it pertains to what movies I'll be covering this weekend. Mostly the comedies, with some horror thrown in. I do want to finally check out Sorority House Massacre and House on Sorority Row. They're 80s classics. So I kind of want to check them out. But, I don't know, I might just stick to, unless I get a hankering to watch Happy Death Day or something. I don't know. I'll probably stick to comedies. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw Scream 2 on. Who knows? It's what I'm doing. You know, it's... That's what I'm doing. And my whole point of doing this is to curate the perfect marathon of college films. Because college films are the feel-good movies. Sometimes you want a feel-good movie, sometimes there's a horror movie. Who knows? And by the end of this, so I'm going to do updates, little shorts. I'll do regular reviews for those that I haven't done yet. And then what I will do is at the end of all this on Sunday evening, I will do a video that I will because I'm going to write down all the ones that I do, and the shorts will be in there to help me remind me what I thought of them. I'm going to do the whole video on what I watched and what I would put as the perfect marathon. What movies would work in the perfect college movie marathon, depending on what you want to watch at that point. So we're going to see how that goes. But for now, what are your thoughts? The reason I'm doing this is I kind of have a free weekend. It's a free weekend. I have to work on Saturday morning, but other than that, it's like a 3-day weekend, basically. So grab your red Solo cups and get ready, because we're gonna party like we're in college. Though I have no idea what that's like because I've never been there. Grab your red Solo cups, turn on some Asher Roth, because I love college and so do you. And let's let's do this. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.